Alright, so hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and today we're gonna check out my new adaptive Inaros setup, which is just straight up the tankiest setup that I have ever put together. It is very tanky. Now, how tanky you ask? Well, I'll just let this clip speak for itself. Yeah, it's quite strong. Now here's the actual build. I don't remember what the Forma setup is anymore, so just keep putting on mods, and if they don't fit, Forma for the highest capacity mod until you can fit everything in. Also, while this setup is sort of a general tank, it is focused more towards melee, as you can probably tell by the steel charge aura. So if you don't want to do any melee stuff with this setup, you might want to switch it for something else, though bear in mind that you're gonna get less mod capacity. And the same goes for the Exilus mod, which for me is Rush, because I really like the extra sprint speed, so if you don't really want the sprint speed, you can once again swap it out for something else. Alright, now the actual setup is running the Negation Swarm augment, which augments Scarab Swarm and makes it protect you from status effect, though every time it does, it will drain 3% of the Scarab Swarm armor, so you will have to recharge it during the mission, but that's really not a big deal with how tanky you are. Then we have Hunter Adrenaline, which converts 45% of all damage done to your health into energy, and since you have no shields, every time you get damage, you'll be generating energy, so you are always full on energy, which is really nice. This is then followed up by Armored Agility for some more sprint speed and armor, Umbra Fiber for armor and tower resist, and then we have Umbra Vitality for health and tower resist, and Gladiator Resolve with Prime Vigor for just raw health, and we top it all off with Adaptation, which is one of the new arbitration mods. This is probably the best one of the bunch, to be honest, because what it does is whenever you get hit by a certain type of damage, you get 10% damage resistance to that damage type for 20 seconds. It stacks up to 90%, which is huge, and you can have multiple different resistances at the same time. This mod adds an insane amount of survivability to the setup, because on top of having a ton of health and armor, being status immune, always having full energy, and have multiple different ways to heal yourself, you basically have Ninja's Warding Halo too. And then we have the Arcanes, which have changed as well. I'm still running Arcane Guardian, but I finally caved in and bought Arcane Grace. Now both of these Arcanes, as well as the Adaptation mod and Hunter Adrenaline, kind of play into the idea of this being a lazy tank, because they're all activated upon you taking damage. So whenever you get hit or damaged in general, you will get damage reduction to the type of damage that hit you through Adaptation. You will generate a little bit of energy through Hunter Adrenaline. You have a chance to temporarily gain some extra flat armor through Arcane Guardian, and you also have a chance to regenerate a percentage of your life thanks to Arcane Grace. And that combined with Inaros, who can get an insane amount of health, a decent amount of armor, can be status immune, and can heal himself in multiple different ways, means that it's nearly indestructible. The only units that are kind of spooky with this setup are Corpus Techs, because, well, they're the highest damaging unit in the game, and if you face tank like 3 of them at level 140, yeah, they're probably gonna kill you if you don't do anything. But even with that said, it's not impossible to deal with them. You're tanky enough so you can fight back, so you can either just kill them with your weapons, you can blind them with desiccation and then do finishers on them, you can start devouring one of them, which will make you completely invulnerable, or you can just throw your Scarab Swarm at them, which is going to disable them and heal you at the same time. Now, I know some of you will say, well, that's all nice, but I can't afford Arcane Grace, and I totally understand that, because if you don't want to farm it yourself, buying a fully ranked Arcane Grace will cost you somewhere between 1500 and 2000 platinum. But luckily, there is a very good and pretty cheap substitute, and it's what I've been using up until now, and that is Arcane Victory, which basically does the same thing as Arcane Grace, but instead of activating upon you taking damage, it activates when you hit a headshot. And you can get this one fully ranked for something like 50 or 100 plat. So once again, if you want to do this setup and you have no real way of getting Arcane Grace, Arcane Victory is a really good substitute. And that's pretty much all there is to say about it. So if you're looking for something extremely tanky to either do the new arbitrations, do Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, Nightmare Mission, sorties, or even just, you know, have an easy time with the Eidolons, because Sunday Boy over here isn't gonna die to some puny Eidolon, this is probably the best tank setup you can take. And it's not complicated either. You don't need to do crazy stuff to get this level of tankiness. You just put on Scarab Swarm and that's it. You can play this with your feet and still be successful. There's a reason why I call it the lazy tank Inaros. But anyway, that's enough rambling for today. So I thank you very much for watching. As always, guys, I hope you have enjoyed the video and you will enjoy this setup. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.